Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we're doing a special Monster Mash series that I actually haven't done in a while, so I'm very excited to do it. Basically what it is I'm making like my own little biome, basically. So how a biome works is it usually shows like the grass that is available for like the first round of prey animals to eat, and then the ones above that, and then we get all the way up to the apex predator. So what I do with these is I do a random number generator, and we combine the prey animals, usually with like the grass or maybe just the prey animals. And then we usually make two preys and like a predator just to make a new mini biome based off of one that exists in our world. So for this one today, we are drawing from the existing Savannah biome. I think last time I did like a jungle marine biome that I kind of made up on my own. But for this one, I thought it'd be fun to combine like the random creature choosing with a new biome and then making a food chain for it. We're just going to combine a lot of aspects of Monster Mashes today, and I'm very excited for it. So we have my random number generator here. And basically what I was thinking is we're going to make two prey and two predators. I know on this breakdown, there are technically like scavenger classes, which we used previously as well. We made a scavenger, but just with how these are mixed and matched and how this food chain looks, I'm thinking we're just gonna do like two primary prey and like two predators. So let me count up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 14 consumers. So we're gonna go through and we'll do a random number generator of the 14 consumers. We'll start from the bottom left and work our way up to the top right. Okay, let's go ahead and generate for our first one, which is 13. 1, 2, well, I guess if we go in the order I did earlier, that leaves Impala. So let me mark it on this one. So our first one, I'll mark in red, and we have the Impala. So I'm thinking we'll pick 3 creatures or aspects. A 3, so we have an acacia tree. This one's gonna be a fun, like, kind of plant animal. And then for the third one, we have a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A termite. This is gonna be kind of gross. So our first creature, we have an impala, a termite, and an acacia tree. This is gonna be really interesting for our first prey animal. And I think this is gonna look kind of gross and creepy. So we're keeping up with the creepy vibe today. So let's jump in and get some sketches going. All right, let's kick off our Savannah biome mash with this awesome prey creature. So I started with my first gut instinct initial sketch, which was basically using the impala body as like the main structure and then adding some awesome attributes from the termite. I realize like on this channel, I feel I do a lot of like bug mammals and I love them. I just love making weird plated, segmented mammal bug adjacent creatures. And so I was very excited to do this one. And so with the sketch as well, with the acacia tree, that was an interesting one to throw in. So I did a lot of research on the acacia tree and found out they actually have like spines on them to try to protect their leaves from giraffes, which I found was really interesting. So I was like, we could include that along like the back of this creature to be like predator repellent, basically, so it can't get jumped or hurt. And I wanted to do another sketch where I had the termite body be the primary thing and then add little bits of the impala and the acacia tree, but I wasn't really vibing with it as much. Like, it was okay. I think it was like an okay concept, but it just didn't really have all the parts that I wanted in it. And so I ended up going with my initial sketch and going from there because I'm like, I really like how this one looks. It has like the cool body structure anatomy that I want. And then from there, I was like, let's do some of them interacting, because previous Monster Mashes, I have done some where there's like 2 of them. Forever ago, there was like the wolf eel, because I wanted to do a couple of different looks for like the Mora eel coloring. And so for this one, I also wanted to have 2 together interacting some way. And my first thought was having one eating from some dead or deceased wood. We got to highlight the termite part. And I was struggling for a while to get them to work well together. And I just loved the initial concept sketch pose so much. I'm like, we're just going to bring that in. I'm going to reuse that for the final pose. So after getting the sketch done, it was time to go in and start doing the detailing. This one took quite a bit longer than I thought it would, It's so interesting. Like, I feel certain monster mashes are so hit and miss on how long they take. Even if I have a lot of detail going, some of them just go faster. And for some reason, this one with quite a bit of detail took a lot of time to draw. I bet it was the type of detail, like all the little tiny spines and things that added up really fast. So for this creature in general, I was thinking about having different, I guess, characteristics just based off of the sex of the animal. It's similar to how like certain horned beasts, they have larger horns for the males, and that's kind of what I was thinking for this one in particular. So for the males of this species, they would have like the longer, larger horns, and then to kind of replicate more of the acacia tree, I thought they could have other branching horns that kind of look like branches, and then have that kind of around their face. And I feel each male would have a different combination of these branches. I think some of them would have them growing from like the same general areas. Like maybe there's like the 2 on the top of the head, and then there's 3 along each side of the face. But then that kind of variance between like how many different twig bits are coming out of each of those horns, or if maybe there's some extra ones that also happen on the head. I just think it'd be cool to have the males have a lot of different versions of horns across the entire species. I thought that'd be really cool. And then the one that's eating the wood, I pictured as like the female. So they would have like shorter, like just more pointy horns and not as much adornment to them. It's interesting though, because someone brought up during the Twitch stream though as well, that I do have one issue with this where like termites have like a queen similar to like a beehive. And so I don't really know how this one in particular would work with like a queen social structure. I understand like within like the queen kind of structure of insects, it's not like the queen is the only female and then all the workers are males. Like I understand that's not how it works, but I'm trying to figure out with the adornment how this would work for potential like queen hive structure. So what I'm thinking is for sure there's the difference in adornment between the sexes of these termite impalas. And then with the queen, I could see her being the only female termite impala, I'm just going to call them that for now, that has like the crazy adornment, and maybe those spines and horns go further down its back and body. I think that could work really well, and I imagine the queen just having the most adornment out of all of them. I also think the queen would not have as many spines and spikes from the acacia tree reference, just because like these are like the workers or like the food collectors or the warriors of the hives. They wouldn't like, she wouldn't really need that attribute if she is just staying within the hive. So I could see her having like horns and such more for looks, even though these guys don't really have eyeballs. And less of the spines for protection, because I don't think she would leave the hive very often, if at all. And so she doesn't really have a lot of the practical protective gear that these ones go out into the world with to make sure they can come back with like food or can defend themselves against the predators of this biome. So with that out of the way, I wanted to talk more about the coloring for this one. And this one was really fun because I wanted to highlight the termite colors. We have so many beautiful small bugs in our world, and the coloring that's present on them is so awesome. And I really wanted to highlight that really cool like yellow to red to black transition that happens with termites. And then it also paired really well with the impala colors, because the impala is like primarily like an orangey, like burnt orange color. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be perfect, because then I can also incorporate the impala's like stomach, like the lighter tan color. And then I wanted to put like little chunks of like black coloring from the impala as well along the body. And I love it. I love it so much. I added a little bit of like red and green tonage to their back as well, both to like be a nod to like the impala striping that can happen along their side. And then also the green is to give another nod to the acacia tree as well, just to incorporate it even further in this design. I really love these colors. I love using like those like bright and like awesome maroons and things. And this just was perfect because at first I was thinking about doing primarily the Impala colors for the whole body, but I'm like, nah, the termite is just way too cool. We cannot pass up an opportunity to add those really awesome reds and blacks. It's so funny. Like, I love bug design. I love bug colors, and they're so gorgeous, but I just never want to be touched by one. I think I love looking at them from afar, and I can appreciate them for reference and creation, and they're cool creatures, but I just don't want one near me. I still just don't like bugs in my general vicinity. Maybe one day that will change, but that's still pretty prevalent for now. So it's time to get stuck in and do my highlights and shadows. Basically, I wanted this to have like at least a little bit of a shine, to be similar to the exoskeleton of a termite. I mean, they're more like, I don't know, they're not like super shiny like you think of with like the black scorpions. Like, those exoskeletons are so shiny and magnificent. But these ones, I wanted it to just still have a little bit of a shine to it, so you could see that it was some type of carapace exoskeleton that was on this creature. And then for this whole mini-series, I'm going to be trying to add in some type of nod to where they are. So I'm going to be experimenting and learning with you guys with how to paint grasslands, basically. I really want to practice just like grass in general. So this one, I was kind of experimenting with some different brushes and like combining them with like me hand painting and brushes. So you'll see me go through a couple of different things as I try to render this grass. And like I said, we're going to just kind of experiment with it throughout the whole series. I'm going to try new things that I learned from like tutorials. So this was the first attempt at grassland just from like me trying it while looking at a picture of grass. So yeah, just letting you know, you're going to see an evolution of grasses in this biome series. With that too, I wanted to put just a pretty simple background so we get a highlight of these creatures. And we were really getting close to being done, just rendering the last little bit of the grass and the creatures in general, and adding some final little bits of highlights and shadows, and then we're going to be done. And I love how cool and creepy these bug hoofed creatures turned out. I'm so pleased with them. All right, there we go. Here is our weird Termite Impala acacia tree combo. I love how this one turned out. At first, when I got this pole, I was like a little concerned with how I'd combine all of these different attributes, but I think this turned out amazing. This is such a cool and creepy beast. I just love it so much. And I could see it maybe being like a fey creature in a future creature compendium. I don't know. Maybe it could just be a regular beast, but I also think this would be really creepy and cool if it was like a fey adjacent monster as well. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you think of any like cool abilities or like maybe what type of creature this could be, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see the rest of this series. We're going to do another prey creature and then 2 predators for our whole little biome. I'm very excited to get into those. And if you'd like to support the channel directly and get some goodies for yourself, check out my Patreon. Shout out to my current patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. If you guys would like to get some goodies in the mail every month or see the artwork that I'm working on early and some behind the scenes stuff, like I do a podcast of like what I'm working on and answer your guys' questions, go check out my Patreon. It helps me a lot and directly funds this business. It helps me buy like the goodies for my comic conventions and pay for like equipment upgrades and whatever I need. So if you want to support me, go check that out. And if you want to do a free way of supporting me, you can subscribe, like, comment, go check out my other socials. Like I'm over on TikTok, I'm streaming on Twitch. You can come over there and support me in those ways as well. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by. I'm very excited to work on the rest of the monsters for this biome. I love doing these mini series. I don't know why I don't do them more frequently. I always have fun with them. I know they take a little bit of extra work, but let's try to do more of these throughout this year and like next year. So that's my goal, make more cool monster biomes. But either way, thank you guys again for stopping by, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.